What's up, everybody, and welcome to Driving the Line, your number one sports betting show in all the land, baby. I am Daniel Greer, stepping in for Coach today. He's out on assignment. He's filming his show, as you all know, because he told us 10 times just in one show. But we're going to go ahead and have a fun day. But honestly, we're going to have to take a step back. It's been a crazy morning, technical difficulties, but we're going to get through this. But because I'm here, everything's going haywire already, but you know that we're going to be here and give you our picks, and we have a loaded crew today. So let's go ahead and not beat around the bush anymore, and let's go ahead and look. All right. It's already been a crazy morning, but you know everybody's here. All right, I don't even know what the recap is. We haven't seen a recap screen, so our apologies completely. We know it. Yeah, we know it wasn't probably good. But we're going to go ahead and start with Charles, as we always do. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, DG, crew, chat. Yeah, my recap, push, missed PK, and then VAR come into play. So, we just keep on moving on as well. So, new day. Surprised we don't have any goals in this first match either. We had like 13 shots, 4 on target, 5 corners. So I'm expecting goals in the second half of this Serbia-Slovenia as well. So excited to get this day started.
It's great when we are obviously starting a show, but then there's already games that we bet on that are already going. It's always great for that. But Raphael, our numbers guy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, my recap screen. I'm glad we didn't show my recap screen because those X's all across the board. I mean, I guess Kelsey Plum was thinking about me instead of playing the game yesterday. She wasn't nowhere to be found. How did I not catch my Germany a ticket? It still boggles my mind. But like Charles says, it's a new day, and hopefully we can maybe just cash one ticket. I'd be happy with just one ticket right now.
I played your Germany over 2.5 goals, and yeah, I didn't watch it, but I was watching on my phone, and the update, I was like, all right, I see 2. Where's 3? And I was like, full time.
And we should have had a penalty. We should have had a penalty in the second half, too.
God, so terrible. All right, the resident chef. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, morning, DG, morning, fellas, morning, crew. Kind of like my picks yesterday. The chef. Look at that. How about some hot oil last night splashing out of the pan and get me forgetting about those shitty picks yesterday because they all lost too. So that's my punishment. But other than that, yeah, it's like everyone's a good day. We're going to start over today.
Yeah, today's going to be a good day. As you have seen, obviously, Coach is not here, but AB's not here as well. He cashed, obviously, yesterday with a lot of his picks. He's probably he got tucked into his little Tennessee Vol bed last night, kind of putting to bed. But yeah, AB's not here as well today. And so we're having issues, but we're going to get through it. So let's go ahead and get into the picks today. And Charles, if you don't mind, go ahead and lead us off with your first ones.
Yeah, we're going right back to the Euros, Spain versus Italy. This Group B heavyweight clash, which has each side wanting to get the 3 points and lock up the overall advantage. Spain, they entered the day as the leaders in the group by goal differential, having failed to lose on the road in 2024 and averaged 2 team goals during their travels, while the Azzurri start the day as the defending Euro champs and were giving less fanfare entering this year's tournament, with their first road win of the season coming against Albania last week while averaging 1 team goal away from home. I expect a highly contested affair today, which Spain will have a bulk of the possession and create their normal chances in corners. So getting Spain over 4.5 corners is a must play. Plus, I can see Italy sneaking a first half goal buy on the board as well. So Italy first half team total over 0.5, which will only increase Spain's chances of the corner count.
I like that. We're going to go with kind of looking at soccer here. Raphael, I'm going to go with you as well because you're going back to obviously the Euro here. And so give us your play, just your soccer play only. I want to look at that one first.
I'm actually going to Copa America, and I'm taking Messi and Argentina over 2.5 goals plus 140. I can't remember the last time Argentina lost. They're defending Copa America World Cup champions. They haven't lost since 2022. Last time we saw Canada, they drew against France, was shocking. I mean, anytime you draw against France, if you're Canada, is a win. But last time we saw them against the Dutch put up 4 goals against them. That's the type of game I'm going to see tonight. I think Argentina wins like 3-0, 4-0. I don't think Canada hits the back of the net at all. So I think Messi and Argentina put a butt whooping when they open up the tournament of Copa America tonight.
All right, Rafael, I am obviously dumb to the soccer. And obviously, as you can't tell, I was calling it the Euro. But what's the difference in maybe the Euro League or whatever's happening right now and then the Copa? So what's the difference with that?
Charles will agree with me. Competition. I mean, a competition in Euro. No disrespect to Copa America. There is some good competition. But let's face it, the competition in Euro versus Copa is probably, I don't want to say night and day, but it's that close.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to qualify for Euros, where if you're in South America, you're all invited, and hey, we need a couple other teams, so let's invite Canada down to play with us too. So yeah, it's a big difference there.
The competition might be different, but we keep cashing. And Charles, I'm going to go back to you because obviously we got a little synergy with this play. So I'm going to go ahead and round out the soccer here. But what are you on with that same game?
Yeah, sticking with Rafael, the Copa America kicks off tonight with the favorites to win the tournament in action. Argentina, they're attempting to win another tournament with Messi on board. The South American side have been dominant since winning the World Cup, currently undefeated on the road in 2024 while averaging 2 team goals. Canada, they were not done any favors being placed in Group A, which includes 3 South American powers, while entering the tournament with a new manager. And top that off, the Canucks have struggled away from home this year, only winning 1 of 6 matches with a 0.8 team goal away from home as well. Argentina are a methodical side, generally taking their time to defeat their opponents, and I expect them to score at least 1 goal in each half versus this Canada side. So we'll go ahead and grab Argentina to score in both halves, and you can also create this as a same game parlay if it's not offered as well. You'll just select the first half goal and then the over 1.5 total goals.
The fact that we can actually look at both of these plays in different ways to attack it is that always makes it fun for me, because if you are a bettor, and obviously nobody is here, paying for the picks in particular, but if you look at both sides, you can see like, hey, if I want to attack this where, the first half team total, to score, or I want to go, as Rafael said, the over 2.5, that's the best way that you're given as a bettor to, hey, all right, you can look at it either way. And so great play by both of you guys. All right, I'm going to go next because we're going to go into baseball, and we're going to then go into Chris and then Rafael. So I'm going to go first here. But with my walks parlay, yesterday I had a plus 170, and then the crew had an even money play. The crew hit, the plus 170 didn't because Hunter Green sold for us. But today the walks parlay is Logan Allen versus he is with Cleveland. But they ranked 9th against left-handed pitching. And then Adam Mazur, I've tried very hard to try to figure out how to say his last name, so I didn't want to have an instant fade bet. But Adam Mazur, he's projected at 4, but also 13 walks in 3 starts just this season. He's going against a Milwaukee team that's ranked 5th in walks allowed there. So I'm going to go ahead with both of these guys. I have them both projected over 2 walks for sure. And so this is the very early game and then the very late game. So we're going to book in the entire MLB today with my plays. All right, Chris, let's go ahead and get into yours, because obviously nothing was great yesterday, but I love one of your plays because I almost put that on my screen until I saw that you already pushed yours in first. I'll tell you after you give your plays.
All right. So yeah, we're going back to first 3. Yesterday I was the opposite on everything, but today this Cleveland Seattle game really close. Listen, Logan Allen can have his 2+ walks. Let's just get him after the 3rd inning or somewhere around there. But Seattle actually versus left-hand pitching, their on-base percentage is about 20 points lower. So I see it really close, but I'm hoping here that Cleveland's going to put up a run. They're a much better team at home than they are away. And then for the second one, we like Minnesota on the first 3 money line. I know Simeon Woods-Rice had a horrific outing, actually crushed my no-run first inning ladder parlay last week with he gave up 4 runs to Oakland in the first. But he's got a 3.79 ERA versus a 4.2 for Zach Little. Their slugging percentage for for Minnesota, they're over 500 in their last 14 games. And their on-base percentage much better here. So I'm liking Minnesota to put up some runs against Zach Little today. So Minnesota first 3 money line and Cleveland first 3 money line.
So on this play, I had Cleveland. So I'm fading Logan Allen just for walks, just in purposes, just because in the last 4 games he's had 2+. But if you look at this and you look at the lineups against Luis Castillo, which is going for the Mariners, they have been raking. So depending on what lineup they put out, it is an early game. There's a lot of these Cleveland hitters that do hit well in day games. And so I'm looking at that as well. I played the first 5, which I think it was even money either way. So first 3, first 5, I do like that play. It was a good find, Chris. All right,
Okay.
Raphael, we're going back to somewhat of the gridiron a little bit. So give us your last play there.
The league gets better than the NFL. We're going to the CFL tonight. That's right. Week 3 kicks off tonight at Molson Stadium, where Montreal, who are 2-0, started their season 2-0 with back-to-back road wins, and it's all because of their defensive play. They're only allowing 16 points a game in those 2 road wins. I think we'll see a low-scoring game. There's 148 out there. Everybody else has 47.5. I like both numbers. I really like if it's 47. Then we'll see a low-scoring game. Montreal at home. I almost laid Montreal in this one, but I just think the under with their defense is going to cause Ottawa a lot of pain tonight. So I'm going to take the under 47.5 of Ottawa, Montreal, as Montreal goes 3-0 to start the real football of football CFL tonight. Week 3.
Does anybody else have any knowledge of the CFL? Like, I know it's played and I know some other teams, but I have no idea how to cap the CFL.
Montreal's last five home games, 4 of them have gone under. In the last 19 games, including last year, I think 4 of them have gone, or 16 have gone under the total.
Yeah, one of my buddies in high school played for Toronto back in the day, but that's all I got.
All right, Chris, come back to you real quick. Robbie Hockey says Zach Little is allowed a home run in 6 straight games. Twins up today on the up too early. So if you have that over at DraftKings, the up too early play, and Willie Castro to go yard. Do you like that?
Oh, yeah. I love that, especially as I got Cleveland first 3. I hope it's early in the game. But, yeah, that was one of the things I looked at, something along the lines of where we at 10% of his fly balls end up as home runs. So 1 out of 10, right? I'll take it.
All right. So today, obviously, it's been a crazy day. We're going to kind of keep pushing through. But if you have any questions, we're going to do something a little bit different. If you have any questions for our guys here, just before you type out your little message, put in there hashtag AskDTL, or ask if you want to ask Raphael a question, ask Chris, ask Charles, ask DG, whatever you want. But in there, before you type your question and whip around, we'll go ahead and answer everything after we kind of recap our screen a little bit on our picks. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the other screen. That was a joke. I'm sorry. It was a bad joke. But here at Educate and Entertain today, we do have a little bit of fun we're going to have with looking through a little bit of the NFL, but also a little bit of Major League Baseball. I want to start with the Major League Baseball stuff because that's kind of what is in season right now, and we're going to kind of look to the future a little bit. But Charles, I'm going to come to you first. Obviously, the Major League Baseball season has kind of been a little weak in a sense. Like, it just doesn't seem like it has any pizzazz, or there's no nothing to it. It just feels like there is a Yankees team that's played well. There's been obviously the Dodgers that played well at times, but there's no standout team. There's no fun. So Charles, I'm going to ask you a simple question of, is there anything that you might change whether it be a rule that you could implement, any kind of change at all to make Major League Baseball just kind of fun and captivating?
I thought the changes they made were supposed to make it fun. So I was fine with those, the speeding up the clock and everything else that they implemented. So I really can't think of anything. I thought they covered it. It's just not really coming off as well. But don't forget about the Orioles and the Nationals. They're doing pretty well too. So we only need 30 more wins for that Nationals team total as well. So I like the rules. I like the game a lot better than I did 2 or 3 years ago. I can tell you that much. So it's just, I don't know. It's just baseball. That's just what happens when you play 162 games. It just wears on you over the course of the 6 months as well. So I think they did a good job implementing the changes that they did make that.
Yeah, and Chris, I'm going to go to you next, because I do think that obviously the changes were good for last season, and it seemed like last season had more to it than it does this year. And maybe we're just in the dog days of summer. But is there any change that you would like to see made, or any change that, that may have been made that you like to maybe blow it up a little bit more, make it a little bit more to the game?
Baseball is one of those things. It's the most pure sport, I think, that we have out there, where there's the people who are diehard baseball fans. They're sitting at home and they're scoring the game as well. They love the game the way it is. In fact, a lot of them actually hate that now the National League also has the DH, which I think was a great change. I love the DH. Why do I need my pitcher up there hitting anyway? But like Charles said, I think that they've not in the comments. Somebody talking about they want steroids back. But no, I don't know that there's anything that you can do to change it. It's just the way the game is set up. I love the game. I don't know that you can make it any more exciting. Maybe bring back collisions at home plate so you get a little contact in there. But I don't know, man. You can't really change it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe you go to the Charles will like this with the VAR, for the strike zone, so you get rid of the home plate umpire calling balls and strikes. But I don't know, man. I think leave it alone. They've tried so many changes right now. Just let it go. I think it's just we're in the summer. Football or basketball has just ended. Hockey's about to end or just ended. I didn't even catch the game the other night, so I don't know who won. It's been a long week, but leave the game. Leave the game. It's fine. It's fine.
They're trying a bunch of different things in the minor leagues, mainly, AAA, just kind of trying different things and what it might look like with the robot umps or whatever the different changes is. But obviously, it just seemed like the ball was jumping last year. And that was a change that I saw that I liked. It seemed like maybe the balls were a different ball, because that's obviously been speculation throughout this season, is whether or not they're kind of manipulating the balls in a sense of maybe, they're not as, popping off the bat as well. But Rafael, any changes that you have seen or want to see that could actually help out the game of baseball?
Well, I think the media and analytics have killed baseball. The media right now, if you turn on ESPN or Fox and all that, what's their topics right now? They're either talking NFL summer practice or who's the Lakers head coach, not what the Dodgers are doing, not Aaron Judge in Baltimore, almost going toe-to-toe every time someone's at the plate over the inside pitch. And the analytics, where it says launching, everyone's trying for home run. You don't see triples anymore. You don't see moving runners over. You don't see bunts anymore. I think both of those have probably killed baseball. Now, is the baseball change? Yeah, I would not be shocked if we have more home runs after the All-Star break, because you can't really change the baseballs now during the season. They'll probably change it after All-Star. We might see more home runs in the second half of the season, because right now we have not seen nothing. And the batting averages have been awful so far this year. So I still believe it has the analytics and the media that's probably killed the momentum of baseball. Because let's face it was great last year, momentum with the pizza boxes bases, bigger bases, stolen bases were high last year. They're down this year. So the changes were good. But for me, every time I turn on a sports show, the baseball is always fourth, fifth, or sixth topic, because they're either talking about Caitlin Clark, NFL practice. We're talking about practice, or who's going to coach the Lakers.
Baseball is not covered nationally for the media wise at all. I know in Bally Sports, in a sense, if you got your regional teams, they're covering those teams. But for the most part, if you turn on ESPN, get up on ESPN, they're never talking about baseball. And it just goes to show the old school of, recapping and the highlights of ESPN, that is so far gone. And you don't get to see, I guess, Chris Berman kind of doing his spiel, on the late night shows. But Rafael, you win that one.
What happened to web gems?
They're gone. It's all gone.
It's great.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand why it would left for sure. But Dags is saying here, talking about the robot system, the robot umps. So going away from that, which, Greg Call forgot about this, they're going to the challenge system now. So if for some reason as a batter, I don't know the exact details of everything, but as a batter, if you for some reason don't like a call, you just tap on your head and they immediately go to a challenge system, which is the robot ump. So the umps are still staying, but there is a challenge system that they're trying to implement, which can be good, especially in maybe a controversial call, bases loaded, 2 outs, and you get a strike 3. That's a little bit high. So maybe that's a good spot, but I just don't want it to take a long time. But all right, let's transition from baseball. We covered it, ESPN. We covered it. So we're going to go to the NFL now. And we heard Roger Goodell yesterday on the Pat McAfee show talking about possibly going to 18 games. And so what he would like to do is the same kind of schedule. I think it's 17 games or 17 weeks, and then the three preseason games. And so it would go to a little bit longer, same 20-week span in a sense, but they'd actually do the 18 weeks. And so, Charles, I'm going to go back to you on this. Do you like that? And do you see any issues with, having a change of adding one more and taking away a preseason game?
I mean, I had no problem with it. It's just going to set up for more injuries, anything like that as well. So, I have no problem with it. It's more football. So, hey, give me 18 games. That's fine. We used to have 6 preseason games and then 12 regular season games and then 14 and then 16. So just a natural progression. So, I mean, I'm not against it as a fan. So it's just more football for us as well, not in a scrimmage type form.
Yeah, if you ask a lot of the NFL coaches, they hate the preseason, and obviously Roger Goodell even says, "I don't even like it." Like they discount tickets, and in the stadiums, and so actually, if you do get that one game, you would get a lot of revenue for the owners, but possibly pass it down to the team. There's something that they'd also, were thinking about is possibly splitting up the season where you get 2 bye weeks, especially with them going overseas a lot more. It might be able to split them up and go 2 bye weeks. And you extend the season by a little with going into President's Day being, I think it's the third weekend, third Sunday of the February schedule. And so you go all the way there, but then President's Day falling on Monday, it's almost like a national holiday after the Super Bowl. So you'd actually get probably more buy-in overall. So Chris, do you like the potential 18 games adding into the weeks?
Of course. And then plus it's another opportunity to actually get decent bets down because preseason bets are the worst. But if you look at preseason, how many times have we seen big name players getting injured during preseason? Well, now they're just going to get injured in the regular game, but whatever. I mean, again, like you said, it's a money thing. It works great for everybody. I think the fans will enjoy it more. You're going to get better quality. I know somebody's over here talking about less quality, but the preseason games, I mean, after the first 2 series, aside from what everyone like game 3 where everyone plays, you're losing. It's not great football anyway. They're getting most of those cuts and looks at people in their mini camps and practices anyway. So yeah. And then like you just mentioned, that going into President's Day weekend and being able to have that Monday off after the Super Bowl without having to call out would be great.
Raphael, that's a great comment. If you're betting on the preseason, I have a 1-800 number you should call. What's your thoughts on going to possibly to an 18-week schedule?
I'm okay with it. I'm torn on this one. For an odds maker and a guy that worked in Vegas casinos for 15 Super Bowls, no. I want less football. I want football season to hurry up to get over because I'm tired of working 7 straight days in a week. For a fan, I'm only good with it if you're going to expand the roster. Because if you talk to every NFL player, that's the biggest pet peeve of them. It's injuries, and more games. It's more preseason games, more regular season games, more playoff games. It's all about injuries. And if you're going to add another week, we're going to see more parity, because if we're adding another week, that means another week of a quarterback getting hurt or an offensive lineman getting hurt. So we're probably going to see more parity, just like we're going to see more parity in college football, adding more teams into their playoff. It's not going to be an SEC dominant one, because let's say if an SEC quarterback gets hurt on their first playoff game, maybe an ACC or a Big Ten or some other conference sneaks in because that quarterback got hurt. More games in the NFL, we're going to see more parity, because we're going to see injuries that we probably weren't going to see because it was a preseason game that they deleted.
Prince of Picks is actually bringing up a good point here. So, from the betting angle, obviously we love it. From the NFL, the owners, we love it. But the quality, such as you were saying, it could take a dip due to, the injuries, but also could the players start taking more rest days? Because maybe, you had like 16 game schedule that they know like how important those games are. If you can go, 10-6, whatever it might be, like that's a big swing. But actually, when you increase the games, there's more variables in there, and so I think that could actually take some change. Raphael.
I did read this morning about what they said. If this does happen, we are going to see 2 bye weeks, because I can guarantee you the union will push that. So, okay, if you're going to get rid of one preseason game, we're going to add another regular season game, and you want us to travel all over the place, I can guarantee you the union will say, we'll agree to this if you give us another bye week.
I think the second bye week has to happen, because if you are going to extend the season, it is a lot of toll on these players' body for sure. But I think it's exciting overall because it gives us another chance to bet like the degenerates that we actually are. But for you, sorry, Raphael, sorry for you.
Because then I go right into March Madness. Because if it's the middle of February, I have no break whatsoever. Because then you conference tournaments in a blink of an eye, and then you have March Madness. I'm gonna get divorced. My wife's birthday today, and she's gonna divorce me if they add another NFL game. Thanks a lot, guys. She's gonna divorce me when I tell her, hey, honey, they're adding another NFL week.
Well, kind of like I guess she's gonna kind of cut you off, similar to what's happened to me today. But all right,
getting cut off today.
That is all the educate and entertain we can talk about. That is all the topics. We're not going to bring in the topic that we had before the show. But if you do have some questions, go ahead and put in there hashtag ask DTL, hashtag ask whoever guy you want to ask a question. We do have some coming in, but let's go ahead and get to the whip around. All right, as you know, this morning has been crazy. So we do not have any home run kind of guys today. But Charles, I'm going to ask you if you have somebody, because I know you always have somebody that's off the board or an honorable mention. So Charles, only to you, do you have anybody?
I sure don't. I didn't get an honorable mention ready this morning. I usually get that right. I'll be honest with you. I usually get it ready during this part, so I'll just go and pick it. That's when I do it. So that's my bad.
I forget that we took you out of the green room this time. Coach isn't here, so I gotta. I keep you on the screen for educate and entertain.
Food in the green room today.
Yeah. Listen, the per diem is gone. Everything is gone. Or actually, there could be more. Yeah, there could be more food. We've cut it all out. Let's go ahead and get into the plays. Charles, if you'll go ahead and lead us off with what you got.
Yeah, Euros. We'll go ahead and get Spain over 4.5 corners and Italy first half team total over 0.5. And then Copa America, Argentina to score in both halves.
Raphael.
I have Copa America, Argentina over 2.5 plus 140 total goals, even though everyone in the chat is cursing me, but I guess they'll catch it. I won't. And in the CFL, I have Ottawa, Montreal under 47.5 because Montreal has just been cruise control as of late, and their defense was going to bother Ottawa all game long. And I have a home run prop. Give me Goldie today for the Cardinals at Rickwood Field. I think Goldie puts up a big home run today against the San Francisco Giants.
All right, Paul Goldsmith going yard. I'm going to go with my walks parlay here is Logan Allen and Adam Mazer plus 117. Both guys are streaking right now. Logan Allen, 2 plus and 4, the last 4. All 3 games that Adam has actually pitched in, he's had 13 total walks. He's covered this line easily. Chris, what you got?
Yeah, so Major League Baseball, Cleveland, first 3 money line, tight matchup here, but I do like Logan Allen to come out ahead in this. And then Minnesota also on the money line, first 3 innings. Excuse me. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm choking here. Anyway, Simeon Woods Rice bounce back game from last week. Minnesota. There we go. Get it out.
All right, as Chris is dying live today. All right, so obviously, thank you for becoming a new member today. That was right before the show started. So thank you for joining us and joining the crew, the best crew in the business. But we do have a lot of questions that are coming in. So we're going to try to get through these real quick. So guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of just spin it around and kind of see if we can speed through these and kind of end the show here. But Big Brett wants to know, can we bet on Derek Lively today? Unfortunately, no, not today. That would be great if we had basketball back. But Charles, I'm going to come back to you. Do you like Argentina to win both halves at plus 165?
Yeah, I like that as well because I could see 1-0, 2-0 by the half, and then them adding the third and the second, so fourth and the second. So yeah, absolutely, I like that. I don't even know if Canada will score today. So. Yeah.
The chat says they're going to score today because they've been crushing my. The chat says Canada's going to score today, so Canada puts up 5 goals today.
They like Canada to win. They like them as a sleeper to win in the chat.
Canada puts up 5 goals today, Charles. That's what the chat is telling me.
All right, Charles, we're going to come back to you on this one. Do you like any corners or the over unders in the England game?
Yeah, I do like corners in that. Those England and Denmark are usually my corner teams, so yeah, I could roll with that one, absolutely. Plus, it's only 8.5. Normally, these corners are 9.5, 10.5. So 8.5 is an automatic discount. Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to the next one, and this is for Seabass. We have the possibility of the I guess the half of the run for the first three for the Twins at extra plus money.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because I do think Minnesota's going to pull this one out. But for me, when I play these first three, I always like the possibility of the draw. Just it's a fail safe for me. Just that, you know, if it does end 1-1 or 0-0 or whatever it is, I'm not I'm not losing. But I do think Minnesota covers this for sure.
All right, I'm going to go to this next one right here. This one's for me. Two leg hit parlay, which is 1+ hit for two guys. The two guys I do like, I haven't looked at the odds. I don't know this, Dwayne, but it will be Bobby Witt and Alex Bregman. And so both those guys have been hitting very well. And so I haven't even done much research. Maybe I'll do it late this afternoon after my soon-to-be appointment when this show gets off the air. But I will make sure that I'll put that out there in the DTL community whenever that is. But I do like Bobby Witt and Alex Bregman. All right, moving on to the next one. We do have a couple more we want to get through. And Taylor Dutton, this is going to be for you, Raphael. Do you like the under 6 or under 5 in the Canada game?
Canada doesn't score. I'm saying it again. So you guys can brutally kill me on the chat. But I don't think Canada scores. And Canada's a much improved team, both women and men's. Their Canada team have been improving year after year. And I'm not dissing Canada at all. I just think Argentina is just much a better team in this matchup. But Canada will put some goals in nets against other teams. They can maybe even win a game in this tournament. But sorry, not against Argentina. That's all I'm saying. Canada's a really good team, especially their ladies. The ladies Canada team, really good.
Awesome. Another option here. I'm going to go to this. I think Goats had it. Another option. Charles, I'm going back to you as well. Argentina to win and over the 1.5 goals.
Yeah, because I think at worst it ends 2-0, but we want 3-0 really is what we want. But I think at very worst it's 2-0. But yeah, I like that option as well.
All right. So, all right, that's going to be all for the questions today. I want to kind of do something different. It has been a crazy show. It's been a crazy morning trying to get this thing off the rails as much as possible as Raphael tries to get me off the rails. But today we're going to have a fun day, and we're going to kind of keep cashing as we go throughout the day. And so it has been, honestly, it's been one of those mornings that you kind of like step back and say, hey, that's how it kind of used to be before we kind of got stuff figured out and got stuff going on the right direction for this show. But that's all we have today. I hope you've had fun with us trying to figure things out. For Charles, for Raphael, Seabass, for myself, Daniel, it has been a great day, and I hope we keep cashing with you. But make sure you check us out on the Crew Exclusive, as it'll be live in about 30 minutes. Have a good day.